Guys, today we have to talk about the Miss South Africa Top 12. There were some shocking exclusions from the top 12 this year. Yesterday, last minute, I posted my top 12 prediction, and in my food poisoning, sleep deprivation states, I somehow managed to get 8 out of 12 of the top 12 correct. But like I said in that video, this year Miss South Africa is just so insane. Nobody really knows what's happening because apparently now the word on the street is that there aren't going to be any eliminations at Crown Chasers, but then Steffi said in a live that there was going to be, like weeks ago. Who actually knows what's happening? I do not, especially because let's just go straight in and address the elephant in the room. Barbara Moagi somehow did not make the top 12 for Miss South Africa this year. This was so shocking to me. This left me flabbergasted because, as you guys know, Barbara was my number one after the top 30 judging day, which is I do not take my predictions lightly, okay? Once I have put it down on paper, those are my exact thoughts. I spent a lot of time thinking over the Miss South Africa top 12, and putting Barbara as my number one was not something that I took lightly. And for her to not make top 12 to me is just so insane, so crazy, especially like I said, because my top 12 was based on the top 30 judging day. The women who did end up making top 12 was Melissa Nyamuli, Lebogang Raputsu, Ané Oosthuysen, all three of which were in my personal top 12, as well as Homba, NATASHA, Keloboga. NATASHA and Keloboga were in my top 12 as well. And also Anke, Nande, and Laverne, none of which were in my top 12, but I wasn't particularly surprised about Nande and Laverne. And then lastly we had Lungu, Bryoni, and Jordan, all three of which of course were in my top 12 as well. Now the other three women besides the Queen Barbara who did not make the top 12 from my personal top 12 were Naledi, Ria, and Nicole Wilmans/Extian. Now, obviously, Nicole has always been a sentimental fave of mine because, you know, she won Survivor South Africa, which I am a huge stan of. I also thought that she performed satisfactorily during the top 30 judging day, but overall, I wasn't that surprised that she didn't make it. To me, it was very much perhaps a fence thing, and I know that I had this personal thing that I loved about her. You know, it's not like Barbara, who everybody loved and everybody and their grandmother could see that Barbara was Miss SA material. Other than that, Naledi also came as a huge surprise. Naledi Mara not making the top 12 because I definitely thought that this woman had potential as well. Lastly, Ria not making it. She was in my top 12, but she was literally at number 12 for me. So not a very big surprise that Ria didn't make it. Not that shocking or insulting as Barbara not making it, to be honest with you. Barbara Moagi is the hill that I will die on this year. Now, the women who were not on my list who did end up making it was Homba, Anke, Laverne, and Nande. Now, for Homba, I don't mind her making it. In fact, I'm not at all surprised that she did make it because I did like the way that she spoke at, I want to use the word prelims, but no, just like the top 30 judging day. I do like the way that Homba speaks. She seems very confident in herself, so I'm hoping to see improvement in her styling, if I can say that, and also the way she walks and all of that. But besides that, she does seem like a very articulate and confident person, which I love for Miss SA. Other than Homba, I'm not really surprised about Nande making it as well. Even though she was not on my personal top 12 list, she did have a lot of potential and show a lot of potential at the top 30 judging day. So not really that surprised about Nande. Of course, Laverne also. Laverne, Donatella, what. This woman needs to choose a name. She needs to choose. Listen, I like her actually, but what really put me off about her was her introduction at the top 30 judging day. it just doesn't work, and she needs to choose one name to go by. She cannot be doing all of that. Nobody has the time.
I am Laverne Rosetta Shanice Donatella Jose.
No one calls Esteban Julio Ricardo Montoya de Rosa Ramirez Atif.
No one's got the time.
Lastly, Anke. Guys, Anke is such a divisive figure because I feel like a lot of people love Anke, and then a lot of people perhaps skew in the direction that I skew in, where they don't love Anke that much. My thing with Anke is, like, during, again, top 30 judging day, we're going off of what the Miss SA org is showing us about these women. During top 30 judging day, Anke was doing a lot, especially during the interview. Like, she made me sort of want to put a bullet in my head during interview, because she was trying very hard to be funny. Okay, listen, while I was watching this, I was in the throes of food poisoning, so maybe it was just my own irritability, but I felt like also Anke put her foot in her mouth a lot during the top 30 interview. And so I'm torn about Anke, because then again, during my DMs last night when the top 12 was announced, and I posted something about Barbara not making it on Instagram, of course, a lot of people were like, yes, Barbara didn't make it, it's so upsetting, what. And with a few of you guys, I got into talking about Anke, and a lot of you really like her, and I just don't get the hype yet. So hopefully Crown Chasers will convince me, because a lot of knowledgeable people who I know and who I trust, for better or for worse, have told me to keep an eye out for Anke, and that Anke may present a huge challenge for some of the other girls, and I just don't see it yet. I don't see it yet, especially after top 30 judging day. I don't get it. I don't get the hype. But okay, hopefully my mind will change on that. And those are the girls who did make it. Obviously, right now, the girls who I am rooting for. So my top 4 is, first of all, Melissa. Okay, now that Barbara Moagi is out, I firmly want Melissa Nyamuli as the next Miss South Africa. Other than that, Jordan. I love Jordan. And then, of course, NATASHA. I thought that NATASHA was great during her performances in the top 30 judging day, and Keleboga was great as well. Now, obviously, judging by my current top 4, you guys can probably guess that I don't mind returnees at Miss South Africa. And I did notice that that was one of the big sort of criticisms about the Miss SA top 12 this year. A lot of people were complaining or merely stating the fact that basically a third of the Miss SA girls this year are returnees. Or no, even more than that, because there's also Bryoni. A lot of the Miss SA top 12 this year are returnees. So a lot of people have an issue with that. I don't mind it. I don't mind it, honestly, because look at Melissa. Look at Jordan. These women deserve second chances. And I think that that's a great thing about Miss South Africa, is that the doors are open for returnees. And this year, my favorites are the returnees, especially Jordan and Melissa. Those two women, they, unlike NATASHA, they've never gotten the opportunity to represent South Africa overseas. And I definitely think that Melissa especially, oh my goodness, that woman is such a weapon. That woman is such a weapon. That's why I will not stand to hear any nonsense being talked about returnees, because Melissa is a returnee, but she is the goddess that we need to bless South Africa at Miss Universe with, or anywhere internationally. Honestly, Melissa is just such a weapon, and I love her. I want to see her succeed. Other than that, guys, can we talk about the product that we've been getting from Miss South Africa? Because, you know what, we only pay 50 Rand for the top 30 judging day thing, and now the top 12 reveal, and then we're going to be getting final judging day as well. And I feel like, honestly, 50 Rand is not much, But for what we've been getting, it's too much. Because to be honest with you, the production has been really iffy. The way they even revealed the top 12 was so underwhelming, guys. I was hoping we could get like a little short 10-minute interview. I was hoping even that it would be just more, because why was it so underwhelming? And I really didn't need to see girls getting rejected either. It could have been done better. That's what I was saying. That's what I'm saying. I feel like them allowing us backstage is sort of an afterthought, and it's not glam. It's not what we expect from Miss SA. So I really hope that they could up the backstage content, because it's not giving really. Anyway guys, those are my thoughts on the top 12 this year. What do you guys think about the Miss SA top 12? I still have no clue what's going on with Crown Chasers, because firstly we hear rumors that there are going to be eliminations, and then Steffi obviously announced that there would be eliminations on a little live that she did, but now they've announced the top 12. I thought that eliminations for Crown Chasers would be taking place from top 30, and I think that would have been much more interesting. But now we've got the top 12. Apparently there aren't going to be eliminations anymore. There were going to be 7 episodes of Crown Chasers. Now there are only going to be 5, which means if there were going to be eliminations, then one girl ostensibly would be eliminated each episode, which would leave us with a top 7. I think all 12 women are going to be ending up on stage, and that there will be no eliminations on Crown Chasers. But who knows? I wish they would make things more clear, because now everybody's just running around like headless chickens, not really knowing what's going on. Or maybe that's just me. Am I just dumb? Like, please explain. Somebody who has vast internal knowledge of what Miss South Africa is actually doing this year, please just enlighten us, because I feel so cloudy and confused around Miss South Africa this year. It's not even a joke, guys. But let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think of my top 4, which of course is Melissa, Jordan, NATASHA and Keleboga, in that particular order? I would love to know. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.